Motivates. I am your life coach for great topics and content, mental health support, motivation, inspiration, all of those things. Welcome. If you are new here, I truly appreciate every single one of my motivators family. Today, I want to talk about when you are going through something. I think everybody is going through something. Everybody goes through different things. Everybody is going through some sort of hard time, but I believe it's 100% how we are dealing with it. When you're going through a hard time, hey Joe, how are you? Welcome. Joe says definitely. I believe 100% that everybody is going through something. It may not always be the same as another person, but I think sometimes other people look at other people and they may look a certain way. They may look like everything is going great in their life, or just because a person has a lot of money, or a person has a family, or a person has education, it doesn't mean that we don't all go through something. Hey Metro, how are you? Welcome. I hope everybody's doing awesome. Happy Wednesday. We made it to the hump day, right? So I just wanted to come on and to say this because this is a pop-up live. When you are going through a hard time, it's important for us to prioritize ourselves. And that's something that I believe as you get older or you go through things, you learn that. It's okay when you're going through a hard time to prioritize yourself. Many times we think about, you think about your kids, or you think about your romantic partner, or you think about your friend, or you think about your relatives. But honestly, when you're going through something, it's a signal, it's a protection for us to start thinking about ourselves. And self care doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves, it doesn't mean that at all. Sometimes people think that self care is selfish, and it's not. For us to think about ourselves and to prioritize our well being, our mental health, our emotional health, it means that we actually do love ourselves. Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. Yes, bless Wednesday to everyone. And hit the like, everybody, if you could please. So I like to think back during the times where I remember when other people, they like to control me and tell me how I was feeling. I don't know how many of you have ever been through that. When you're going through something, people want to tell you how you feel. You shouldn't feel that way. And it's honestly because they want to control you. Hi, Christine. How are you? Welcome. Honestly, I believe it's because people want to control you and tell you how you should feel. A lot of times people really don't care about you. They just want to be able to get you to be just like a little puppet, to control you. Do this, do that. Because a lot of people are micromanagers. They want to manage how you do things, how you handle things, but they're just going to sit back and do nothing. Most of the time it's lazy, controlling, and narcissistic people. So we have to pay attention to other people. But why I wanted to do this conversation, podcast, live stream was because everybody is dealing with something. Yours may not be mine. Some people are dealing with some financial situations. Other people are dealing with a breakup. Some people just got into a relationship. Others are going through school. Some people are dealing with just the stress. Some people are dealing with some physical issues, like with their health problems. So everybody goes through different things, but it's important that when you are actually going through a hard time, that you prioritize yourself. You take time to say, I matter. What I'm going through and what I'm dealing with is important. Don't let other people who are controlling and manipulative tell you that something is wrong with taking a break. Sometimes that means you have to take a break from your relatives. You got to take a break from your romantic relationship. You have to take a break from friends so that you can be okay, because sometimes we are not okay. And this is something that I want to make this something normal and healthy to say. When you're not okay, it's okay to not be okay. We're not robots. We're human beings. We have feelings. We go through stuff. And it's all right for us to say, I'm in pain. I'm sad. I'm messed up right now. I'm going through loss. I'm going through this financial situation, or my health is not in the best space. But a lot of people like to be like robotic or to wear a plastic smile because they don't want other people to know that they're in a bad situation or they're going through things. And I'm here to say, prioritize being not okay. Make that a normal. If you need to take a step back from people and focus on your education, focus on your finances, focus on your health, focus on your spirituality, focus on anything that you need to do to be okay, let's make taking care of ourselves important, because other people will make it seem like something's weird with you if you take a step back, or you're not always doing and putting out for other people. And what it is that they are upset because now you do not make yourself available. So I want to say that to all my motivators family, that it's okay to have your own personal time, whether you are a parent or a sibling or a child or a friend or in a romantic relationship. We have to make it healthy, having our own personal lives, making sure we're okay and filling up our cup. And sometimes we don't. We're so busy being the friend, being the daughter, the son, the sister, the uncle, the grandparent, the whoever we are in other people's lives, that we are not thinking about, when's the last time I accomplished a goal I wanted to have? When's the last time that I worked on my focus and my talent and my gifts and my blessings and working on me? Because we need to be healthy. We need to be happy. We need to feel good. There needs to be joy. And ultimately, I know for me, I needed to take a step back from other people so that I could do some healing. People don't understand in the background. People can only see you on the surface level, but they don't know what goes on in your mind. They don't know the issues that you have to deal with on the day to day. People don't understand your struggles. They don't understand your mental health issues, or you're missing somebody, especially grieving a loss, or you're dealing with some physical ailments, some problems and situations. People don't understand those things. So we have to learn to prioritize ourselves and take a step back from other people to make sure that we're okay. If you're not okay, you're not going to be okay for anybody else. Okay? So that's what I wanted to really get that out, and for you guys to really take it in and think about it. When is the last time I took some time to be by myself, to focus on my spirit, to focus on my health, to focus on my goals? Am I accomplishing my goals? Am I in a space of peace? And the question is, if we're not in a space of peace, if we're not prioritizing ourselves, the question is, why not? Why don't we think that it's okay? Why do we think that it's okay to let people run over us? Why do we think it's okay to not say no? That's something that's important, motivators family. We need to think about saying no more to others so that we can say yes to ourselves. Not that we're egotistical or strange, or we always are thinking about ourselves and selfish. But ultimately, if we don't fill up our own cup, take care of ourselves, and be good from within, so we can be able to pour. But what most people do is they pour and they're already depleted. They're already in a negative space. They have not healed from whatever situation or problem that has been plaguing them, that has been, you know, really bothering them. And I know when I took some time away from everybody and I just needed to wrap my head around the things that I was going through. When I lost my mom and my dad within 7 months, it was something new for me. I don't think anybody actually thinks that one day my mom or my dad won't be here, or your sibling won't be here, or anybody that you're really close to. We always kind of, I wouldn't say take them for granted, but we always expect for our relatives and our friends and the people that we care about to always be there. So it's just something for us to think about. If we have been doing too much for others, it may be a good time for us to take a step back from others, look at our situation. What are we doing? Are we doing too much, or are we doing too little? And this is the time where you have to woman up, or you have to man up. And this is the time where you take a step back or you take a step forward. It's time for me to put my foot on the gas and take care of me, or it's time for me to put the brakes on and to say it's time for me to stop doing all of these things for other people, and it's time for me to prioritize me and my goals, my objectives, and focus in on my light and my peace and my joy, because all of that is important. So, to all the ladies, to all my gentlemen motivators family, I want you to focus on that. We think sometimes that other people don't care about us, and sometimes that is true, but some ultimately we have to be the ones to say, I care about me, even if others don't. And that's the thing about, we are all going through something. And whatever it is that you're going through today, I hope that it gets better. Some things in our life gets better with time and some things don't. We just have to learn the coping tools. We have to learn what we want. We have to learn who deserves to be in our life and who doesn't. We have to learn who is taking advantage of us and who really is there and supportive and really on our side. And it's very hard sometimes for us to figure out who really is on our side, because people can be very manipulative and controlling, and they can play the title game because they're your parent or they're your sibling or they're your romantic partner. So when you start to get your emotions involved, sometimes it's hard for us to see that this person is toxic in my life. It's hard for us to see that when you're in the situation. And that's why I'm recommending to everybody sometimes to take a step back from these negative people, to take a step back from others, and to really think about, how am I doing? Am I okay? Am I at peace? Am I working on my goals? And that's one of the things that I talked about the other day, learning to walk in silence and learning to mind our business. A lot of times people say out of their mouth, mind your business. But the question is, are we minding ours? How is your mental health? How is your financial health? How is your friendship with yourself? Are you taking care of yourself health wise, or are you ignoring others and feeling that you always have to be the one to be the supporter, but never being supported? See, and that's a big deal. And until you come to that space where you realize, I deserve to be supported, I deserve to get love, you deserve all of these things. But until you learn to love yourself, until you say no, until you start working on yourself, we have to show people what we really mean. We can say we love ourselves. We can say we want to do X, Y, and Z. But until people see us living that life, they don't believe it. You could tell people you love yourself, but if you let people run over you, if you never tell people no, if you don't say, today I'm taking a time for myself, I'll catch you guys the next time. Part of loving ourselves is not always making ourselves available right at that moment. where your partner or your friend or your relative or whoever in our lives needs us. Sometimes so that we can be okay, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, we need to leave other people alone so that we can actually be okay. You need a break from other people sometimes, just to be by yourself, to think about your goals and what you want and your purpose, and to just have peace, to just hear nothing. There's nothing like silence. And sometimes, unfortunately, when we have our relatives, or some people call them family, but I call them relatives, but sometimes our relatives can be so in our face and always talking and they mean the best. Sometimes some of them mean the best, but sometimes some don't. They just want to be in our lives so that they can judge us or tell us what to do with our life and our money, or so that they can get our money or our time, or be able to use our resources. So we really have to pay attention to how we are pouring out. Sometimes unfortunately we are pouring out, but we are not getting back. We're not getting back all of the things that we deserve, all of the things that we need. Metro says that's right, Marlene. Can I allow You cannot allow those to control our faith, destiny in our lives due to their bad influence and behavior. Yeah, don't let other people, because a person has bad behavior sometimes, and I know I have been guilty of it because I'm human. We will allow people to treat us bad repeatedly and just say that's the way they are. And that's true. Some people just don't ever respect us. They don't respect boundaries. They don't think about us and what we want to do and what we need. But at the same time, we cannot allow other people's poor behavior to be a determining factor in how we live our life. We ultimately have to make a choice to say, I'm going to live my life to the best way possible. And it's unfortunate sometimes that we have to cut ties with people. I call it cutting the umbilical cord, because some people were really tied to, were really invested in, and they could be a good person, but they're just not good for us. Some people, even a romantic relationship, they could be a good person, but they're just not good for us. Not all people, just because they're good people, means that they need to be in our life. Because if somebody is not pouring back into us or supporting us, because there's more than one way for us to get support. It's not just financial support, it's emotional support, it's spiritual support, it's physical support. It's sometimes you just literally need a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes you just need somebody to take you for a dinner, or buy you some groceries, or fill up your gas tank, or pay a bill. But it's not all the time, but sometimes that's the support you need. But if it's always that you are the one always dishing out, or you're the one who's always saying yes, you have to get other people used to you saying no too, or not answering the phone without an explanation. You don't have to explain why you're saying no. It's no, because I'm grown and I don't want to. And we have to get people in our lives used to that. You do. You have to get people used to respecting your personal space, respecting your time. Like the people who like to show up late, and they just think, oh, it's no big deal. It's just 5 or 10 minutes. But it's 5 or 10 minutes of my time that they wasted. So it's just some things that I want you all to think about. Everybody is going through something. And I'm so sorry to anybody who is going through, grief, especially during this time of the year. I can't say I know how you feel, because everybody deals with grief differently. But I know for myself, grief causes me these days to meditate and to think and focus on the memories. It's all about how we choose to look at a situation. It's about perspective, okay? And sometimes the perspective means for us to be introspective, for us to think about ourselves. That while we love and care for other people, but we can't completely ignore ourselves and what we're dealing with and going through. And sometimes individuals will make it seem like we have to, as soon as they need us, drop everything, or every time they call on the phone, we should always make ourselves available, or anytime they need money or whatever it is, we need to be there for them. Sometimes that's the reason why we are going through this stress and strain, because we're taking on more than what we're supposed to, especially if you're dealing with other adults. Every single adult needs to take care of their own business, and we have to let people grow up. And if they won't grow up, these are the individuals you have to cut off. You have to block them for your mental, spiritual, physical, financial, and emotional upliftment. We cannot always be the one to bail people out for their poor decisions. It's not our problem. Because if you're always focusing on other people's problems, when can you ever focus on your own and what you're dealing with? And that's something that for a really long period of time, I was going through a lot of things in my mind, but because I was always making myself available, every phone call, every text, every this, every time somebody would ask, I always felt like I had to be the yes woman, and vice versa. Or you could feel like you want to always, you're always the yes man. And you have to get people used to you not being available. Like, don't call me, figure things out on your own. Sometimes it's not until you leave people's life that you give them the opportunity to reflect on how good you have been to them, how much of a support you are, how kind you are. And some people do not have gratitude and appreciation. And unfortunately, some people, you have to teach them a lesson. You do. You have to teach them a lesson. Well, if you can't appreciate me, and if you can't give me back, emotional, mental, spiritual, financial support, then what's the purpose of you being in my life? And it may sound harsh or mean or something, but it's the truth. It can't always be you giving. The giver needs to be given to. Even as simple as asking questions. Is there something that you need? Can I help you? Can I support you? Can I pray for you? Simple things like that go a long way with me. I know everybody is different, and I know that not everybody is a person of faith, but at the same time, it can't just always be about other people. And for me, I had to learn about balance, because I know for me, I have no problem with being honest and transparent and saying that. I know I wasn't balanced at a certain period of time, supporting others, showing up for others, but never showing up for myself. If you are always giving, when do you have time to ask yourself, what do I need? You're not taking time for reflection, for personal growth, for your own healing, for your goals, and what you want to do moving further in your life. And a lot of times, that's the reason why you can be stuck. I have been there. I have done that for a very long period of time. I've been stuck because we allow these people who are not growing. They're lazy, they're a procrastinator, they're a controlling person. They have some mental issues. There's a lot of reasons why some people are stuck, or because they won't check their ego. You know, I think everybody could do well to look at themselves and ask themselves, what do I need to work on? And I know something that I had to work on is learning to say no. learning to pull back from people who were using me, just not making myself available. And just that in itself, not making yourself available. Do not answer that phone call. Do not show up to things that you don't want to show up to. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to go to something, if you don't like the scenery, the energy, how other people treat you, don't show up. Don't answer their calls. Say no. And it can be hard for some and easy for others, but everybody has something to work on. So to anybody who is going through something today, I want you honestly to write down, like me, I have a notebook, and I write in my notes every day some pros and cons about my day. I journal about how did I treat myself today? Did I treat myself well? What did I respect my own boundaries? And did I enforce them? Because you can tell people what you don't like, but then if they go past what you don't like after you've talked to them about it, now it's time for you to enforce it. And some of the ways that we can enforce, when we tell people, I don't like if you talk to that way, this way, I don't like that you don't support me. This is the time where if you don't support me, stop supporting them. If you don't like that they don't call you, stop calling them. Do not make yourself emotionally, you know, spiritually, just cut them off. Some people cannot learn a lesson until you actually show them. I'm serious, and I mean that. So that's something that it may be easy for some and harder for others, but it was really hard for me to block certain individuals because I don't know about you all, but I'm the type of person, when I'm kind and I care about people, I will give until I say I'm not giving no more. When I realize that I'm the only giver and now I'm empty, whether it's financially empty, emotionally empty, mentally empty, just some people, they can make you so distraught, because of all everything. They're just always about drama. Do you all know some people like that in your life? I know several people who are like that. Every time you talk to them, it's drama. They're always complaining about something. It's always something bad. It's always something wrong. And they're always pointing the fingers at other people. And they're never asking themselves, oh, I shouldn't have done that. They never are accountable for their actions. And I can say for me too, I've had times in my life where I definitely needed to do some personal growth, grow up, mature, and I did that. And once you start to do better and know better, and you are giving to people, and you have to start paying attention. It doesn't mean that you're selfish, but it means that you have values. It means that you respect yourself and love yourself. And when you're your own best friend, like I always talk about over here, we have to work every day at being our own best friend. And sometimes being your own best friend means I can't have you in my life anymore. I can't listen to your conversations, or I'm always helping you spiritually, or I'm always helping you financially, or I'm always helping you, whatever aspect that you are assisting other people. But when it's not reciprocated, but when is the last time you supported me financially, spiritually, emotionally? When's the last time you checked on me and asked me how I was doing? So it's just something for us to think about and to meditate on. When we are going through something, take some time to pause. Take some time to reflect and relax. It may be a great opportunity for you to reset your life, reset and refocus. There's nothing wrong with sometimes things have to completely fall apart in your life for them to come together how it was supposed to be. And sometimes that means that you have to block certain people. Sometimes you have to cut ties with certain people or individuals. Um, Sometimes it just means that you have to start thinking of yourself again, taking care of your physical health and going to the doctor and exercising and eating well. Sometimes that healing has to begin with you, but other times that healing cannot happen until you remove the people who bring you the stress and the anxiety. Yeah, because that's not good. If people always make you feel this small, or they never consider you, or ever say, "How are you doing? I was just thinking about you. What can I do for you to help you?" And when you don't have that from others, it can be very frustrating when you are always the giver, but you never are the receiver. So it's just something that I wanted my motivators family to think about. If you are going through something today, which I believe everybody is, take a look around the people that you have around you. Are you the one financing things? Are you the one that always has to pay out? Are you always the ones that has to check on everybody? How are you doing? Do you get the how are you doing? I hope you're well. I'm thinking about you. These are some things to think about. If you don't, you may have to start thinking like, maybe these aren't the best people for me. And some people you can easily get rid of them, and sometimes it can be your relative, but you'll still have to deal with them. But even in that, when we have relatives that are controlling or manipulative, or those who are takers, you also can handle how you deal with them too. You know, very limited. If that you don't have to answer their questions, you don't have to go to the gatherings and the parties. And honestly, for me, it's you have to stop being fake, and you have to learn to be honest and transparent with yourself. And on tomorrow, I think I'm going to do that as a topic. So I feel like this is a great place for us to segue into the next topic on tomorrow. But I wanted to encourage all of my motivators family to not give up on yourself. And if you aren't feeling supported by the people around you, find your support. Find your support circle. For me, I found people on social media. Join a support group for whatever it is that you need. There's hundreds of type of support that you can need. Grief support, financial support, just so many things. So for any problem and any situation that you're going through, they have a support group out there. So search and seek. Don't sit and wait for thinking that one day the people in your life will change. One day they'll accept me. One day they'll love me. One day they'll grow up. One day they'll do right, because you'll be wasting your time, your energy, and your effort. You should not have to wait for people to give you what you need. If you need something right now, seek it by finding new friends and associates, or a mentor or a coach. And don't forget to tap in spiritually to whatever it is that you believe in spiritually, because you're not alone. Okay? You're not alone, and until you do something about it, but you got to put in the action so that you can feel better, so that you can be at peace, so that you can heal and do your best and live your best life, because ultimately that's what this life is all about. Coming to a space where you love yourself, you're doing the things that fill up your cup and make you feel good about yourself. Love on yourself and be your best self. I wish you all the best in whatever it is that you're going through. I'm so sorry to anybody who is going through a hard situation right now, financially, emotionally, grief wise, relationship issues. So it's a lot of things, but I want you all to understand that just because you're going through something right now, remember, you have to be in control of your life. If you don't like something in your life, grab it by the horns and do something about it. Leave the relationships. Step up and be a woman or a man and fix it. Work on yourself, heal, grow up, mature. Learn how to be a better communicator, read a book, go to therapy. So there's a lot of things that we can do. And I wanted to tell all of my motivators family, remember, it's in the power of your hand for how you want your life to be. If you want happiness, you got to search for it and seek for it. It's not going to be inside of your relatives, a friend, a romantic partner. You first have to be okay. You first have to be happy. You first have to respect yourself and your boundaries. And you have to know what you want and what you don't. See, sometimes we know what we want, but we don't have enough courage to face it, to cut people off, to do the right thing. But you can do it. I believe in you all, but believe in yourself. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. And reach out to me for support. My email is always in the description box. I do life coaching, of course, for a fee. So thank you guys so much for your support. And I wish you all well. I wish you the best. Anybody who's watching on the replay, keep your head up. I know that it can be hard. It can be difficult. It's a struggle, but you can make it through. Don't ever give up. Okay? Don't give up on you. Don't give up on your life. Don't give up on your hopes, your dreams, and your blessings. What is meant to be for you will be. And the ones who aren't have the courage to walk away and to leave them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow around the same time. Bye-bye, everybody.